Well, Riley Gaines and Jack Brewer are heading to Minnesota tomorrow to lobby for a bill banning men from women's sports and to protest Governor Tim Walz's far-left policies. Over in Maine, more than 20,000 have signed a petition to recall the state's governor after she refused to comply with the president's order to keep men out of girls' sports. Hundreds are turning out to protest in the Pine State. Watch.
I am not up here for any political reason. I am here today because our future girls should not have to fight for a fair chance. That chance should already be there and be protected. However, I do not think women should have to sacrifice their spaces for equality because there will always be a difference when it comes to sports.
Joining us now, our Outkick.com host and host of Gaines for Girls podcast, Riley Gaines, and presidential appointee on the U.S. Commission for the Social Status of Black Men and Boys, Jack Brewer. So this is very interesting. You guys are in Minnesota dealing with this. Meanwhile, there's a protest in Maine. I just can't believe we're still dealing with this. And I can't even, it's just, I'm so over it. And these holdouts, these aging politicians that seem to think they're going to get a woke award. Jack, let's just start with you. Minnesota's your home state. Why is Governor Walz doing this? And what would be your message to him if you could sit in front of him right now and talk to him about why this is a bad idea?
First off, it kind of ticks me off, Rachel. You know, we look across our country. We got 9 million little girls in the United States of America that don't have fathers. So I'll say that to start this off. And so if you are a male, if you are a man that is elected to office and elected to lead in this nation, your duty is to protect the women of America. So the fact that we're talking about a governor who is even thinking about allowing men to go and hurt women on sports fields is disgusting. And so as a former Minnesota Viking, as a former Minnesota Gopher, I was a captain on both of those teams. I love the state of Minnesota. This is embarrassing. This man does not represent the state of Minnesota, and this should make every Minnesotan angry that they have their girls being vulnerable like this. And so I stand against that, Rachel. I can't wait to get back there to my old hometown and the place that I became a man and stand up for the rights of these young girls.
I love that you're lending your voice to this. I mean, it is a women's issue, but it's all of our issue. Here are some of the actions that Walz is taking. He's guaranteeing trans health care to anyone in Minnesota. He's added protections based on gender identity to Minnesota Human Rights Act. He's mandated coverage for what they're calling gender-affirming care, which, as you know, is child mutilation by insurance companies. Riley, quickly, your thoughts on this.
Yeah, well, bottom line is majority of Americans reject this absurdity. That was made very clear on November 5th. I believe people turned out to the polls to embrace Donald Trump, to embrace his cabinet picks, to embrace the America First agenda. But more so, Rachel, I believe people turned out to the polls to reject things like this, to reject the idea, like Governor Walz, putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. It's utterly insane. We see it. We see how out of touch with reality these elitists who sit from their ivory towers are. People like Governor Walz, people like the Democratic elected officials in Maine, Minnesota, California, and of course in Washington, D.C. And I just want to add, Jack Brewer, I think I would follow you into war. I am so excited to be in this fight with you in Minnesota on Monday.
Yeah, by the way, I almost forgot about that Tampon Tim moniker. Seems like a million years ago, but he's still the same guy. He's still fighting for tampons in the men's bathroom. Riley, you're going to be delivering a pre-race invocation, a prayer at the Circuit of the Americas. What does that mean to you?
I mean, look, as a lifelong race car driving fan, this is just such a surreal honor. And for what better reason than to praise and surrender it all to the Lord. So I'm very excited. It's been nice just this morning sitting behind the screen watching the coverage of IndyCar and all of the NASCAR races and everything going on. So exciting atmosphere and environment. We saw how, the Daytona 500 welcomed President Trump. So I can't wait, Rachel.
Well, Riley and Jack, I can't think of a better team. This is a power team that's going into Minnesota, making a difference, reminding everybody that just because Donald Trump was elected doesn't mean that these governors aren't still hurting little girls and sports and endangering their lives. in so many ways. So I really appreciate you both coming on and that you're still engaged in the fight. Jack, Riley, thank you.
We love
Thanks,
you, Rachel. God bless you guys at Fox.
Thank you.